that results are strategy dependent, and in order to get strategy, there's a lot of things that you'd have to consider, guys. Today, I'm really on fire to get us understand these basic things that surely are going to launch us to our next best levels as individuals, as practitioners in one sector of society or the other. I know you're here connected and you desire a particular dimension of influence within a particular sector of life or in society. So we are excited and passionate about that equally, because we believe that there is so much in you, and the world has a lot to profit from your excellence. It's not just about you, it's way beyond you. You remember the scenario in the Bible where Jesus told Peter to launch into the deep, and Peter went in, and when he made a big catch, the Bible records very clearly that there were other fishermen who were around him, and he called unto them and asked them to help them with their net, because their nets were about breaking. So they had a heavy catch. So whenever you have a big catch like that, it helps to empower other people. I'm sure those other fishermen who were around him, they were not the ones that got the catch, but because they were around an individual who got a big catch, it means that they profited from that catch. So there is a lot that we can do together, not just as individuals. And the Bible records very clearly that the next time when Jesus and his disciples, they were not going for fishing at that time, but the Bible says they were crossing to the other side, and the storm came upon the boat, and the other boats that were around them were afraid. It was because of the level of excellence, the kind of catch that they had the first time. I think that other boats were like, this looks like a good magnet point. Let us always follow these boats, because we might not know how to catch, but when this boat gets a big catch, we are going to profit from it. So there is a lot that comes to do with association. So you could take it down that maybe one of the good strategies that could launch your life as an individual or your organization is the right association, the strategy of prudent associations. You want to note it down, the strategy of prudent associations, because if you can be able to just connect with the right people in life, then you are going to be able to launch your business to the next best level. So it depends on your level of connection with individuals and with systems that are productive. I didn't just say connect, but connect or associate yourself with individuals or systems that are productive. But hey, again, it's not just dependent on the rate of productivity or the level of productivity of the system. You want to also ensure that the productivity is in your area of interest. Because trust me, in every individual, there is that fire, there is that desire to produce results in a particular sector. So whenever you are not producing results in that sector, fulfillment would hardly ever come. And so you must be able to find that sector where you have passion for, so that when you are generating productivity, when you are becoming a person of influence, you're becoming a person of influence within that sector. It doesn't matter how young you are, it doesn't matter how old you are, you must be able to find that one thing that makes you unique, that makes you influential. You are not too young to become a person of influence. But again, guys, your influence is dependent on the strategies that you can employ in order to make your life better. In order to start the trajectory of your life, you must employ the right strategies, guys. Okay, this one just came. I think it's really good for you guys. In order to start the trajectory of your life, you must employ the right strategy. You are never too young. Look at young people like maybe say Emanuela, the famous Nigerian baby comedian. She was a kid and she began in her area of gifting, and she became an influence to other young kids and even to adults. And you see even very elderly people taking in context, maybe Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, the highest selling chicken food platform in the entire world. You remember him, he retired as a colonel, but before that time he always told his friends that there was something particular about his chicken, and none of them ever believed him. They always tried to shut him down. And then at one point he started the KFC chicken when he was there about 65 years old, and starting late, but when he was 81, he made his first $1 billion in an area where he was passionate about. You must find that one thing where you're passionate about, guys. And that one thing is your gift. What is your gift? What thing have you been empowered with? Your gift. It's an inherent ability that is in you. Oh, Steve Harvey even defines it better. He says that your gift is that single thing that you can do to the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That thing that has consumed you. It's that thing that you are so passionate about. Not the thing that you are excited when you're excited that you are living for, but the thing that you are willing to go even to the extent to die for. If you could just die doing this thing, then you've died well. Look, you must be able to find that one thing, guys. For you, it might be just needing hair. For someone, it might be just needing clothes. For someone, it might be just cutting hair. For someone, it could be just making food. For someone, it could be just fixing shoes. But you must be able to find that one thing that makes you unique, that makes you a person of influence. So in order to become an influence again, guys, you find that one thing that makes you so special. Your gift. It's indispensable in your journey of influence. But again, it's important to note that your gift can be the single most popular reason for your insult, until your gift begins to produce results that will end the insult by salting your life. So you must be able to start to produce tangible results in the area of your gifting to be able to end the insults that come by reason of your gift. Because I want you to understand this very carefully, guys. Listen, your gift is your uniqueness. It is what makes you different from every other person. And don't get me wrong, it's possible to have maybe the same area of gifting as another individual, but the mannerism of execution of that gift is particular to you. Because when your gift produces meet your personal trait, it presents in a particular manner that attracts a particular kind of people, and so it makes you different from what other people think or expect an individual to be, or how other people expect an individual to behave. And that right there could be a strong bone of contention, because there is what people think you should be, but your gift presents you in another way. So it takes the right strategy to be able to end that insult and begin to produce results, or to be able to end that insult by producing significant results that truly end insults. So it's very, very essential to employ strategy in order to commence the trajectory of your life. And in order to do that, the second strategy you must use, remember, the first strategy is the strategy of prudent associations. You must be able to connect yourself with the right persons and the right systems that are going to push you to the next best level. Because remember, when we're doing our sessions on kleptomania, everything is a result of a system. Everything is the result of the engagement of resources. So how do these resources come together to produce results? It takes strategy. So for example, in a production system, they would have to pack up these resources into a particular transformation unit in order to get the desired output. In the same way, you must be able to pipe your gift, pipe your ideas, pipe your solutions in a particular manner, using a particular strategy to get the kind of result that you want to get. And the second thing is the fact that these results they only show with time. So you must employ the strategy of consistency. Listen, the glory that is in your head might not come out of a sudden the way it has happened for other people, guys. You must be able to employ the right strategy of consistency to consistently make improvements in that particular area, because without consistent improvement you cannot make constant growth. Without consistent improvement, guys, you must consistently engage in producing the kind of results that you want to see. And trust me, at the start it might not be very economically rewarding. At the start, it might not improve on your popularity as it is in your head. Like you're imagining yourself coming out from a big jeep now. I'm sure it's in someone's head immediately. Like you want to see yourself priding yourself around maybe in your own aircraft, and stopping, and you have a private parking shelf and all of those. But guys, it's going to take time, but surely it's going to come. But it takes consistency. How consistent are you in producing those kind of results that you want to see? You remember the story of Joseph in the Bible, recorded towards the ending chapters of Genesis. I think from Genesis chapter 27 down to maybe 32 thereabout. So you want to be able to employ the right strategies that are going to ensure that you move to the next level. And one of those, guys, is the strategy of consistency. Without consistency, you cannot constantly be relevant. Consistency is the secret of constant relevance. If you want to become a person of influence, then you must be able to employ the strategy of consistency. Without consistency, people are going to laugh at you. You remember all those that said your dream was not possible? Without consistency, you'll be proving that equation that it is impossible. But trust me, with God, all things are possible. So you want to engage God in the process, and guys, remain consistent in producing the kind of results that you want to see, because with the strategy of consistency, you can be able to, 1, maintain your influence, 2, generate attraction, and 3, you can be able to mount up your results. Listen, when you mount up your results with consistency, they speak for themselves. At the start, it might not look very appealing for many people, but over time, brother, over time, sister, people are going to sit back and look at what you have done, and they're going to so glorify God for your life, for just the gift of keeping you alive. It's going to be a great blessing to nations. Remember, I said this earlier, that we are gone past that level where it's no longer for us. It's not longer for us, guys. We are passionate about inspiring the next generation. Remember, the mistakes we make is going to design a new culture. It's going to design a new normal for our children, and it's going to influence the lives of our children's children. So you don't want to be on that lane anymore. You want to begin to produce the kind of results that are going to end insult, and that only happens by consistency, because science proves beyond reasonable doubts that whatever an individual focuses on consistently, he begins to produce results in that thing. So guys, build focus on that one thing. And remember, we started with your gifting. Your gifting, it should be in your area of gifting, so that even if the results are not coming very significantly or very consistently, you want to ensure that it is in your area of gifting. And because it is in your area of gifting, you are so passionate about it, and your passion does not fail. You want to build consistency, guys. It's very vital. Prudent association, consistency. They are going to launch you to heights that eyes have not seen. They are going to launch you to heights that ears have not heard. They are going to launch you to heights that has not been exposed to the understanding of men. You remember the story of Joseph? His dream was a dream that could save a nation. His dream was the dream that the world needed at the time, because Bible records in the end chapters of the book of Genesis, I think they're about chapter chapter 30, it records that there was a great famine in the land and the people were so much in hunger. It took the dream of Joseph. You remember the first dream that Joseph ever told his brothers, that I saw us in a field. We were gathering grains, and after gathering a lot of grains, I realized that my grain was standing up and all your grains were bowing down. It's not about me. It's not about me being proud. It's about the fact that my gift has a momentary significance in order to ensure your preservation in life and destiny. Without the effective delivery of my gift, some people might never see the optimum potentials in them. So I must be able to express my gift. I'm sorry if it's putting someone under pressure, but my gift cannot be shut down. You must be able to push yourself up, guys. Be your number one encouragement. He said, I saw my grains standing up and I saw your grains lying down. You remember it was the same grains that Joseph used to be able to save the entire world at his time. You must maintain your dream, guys. The lives of men are dependent on the success of that dream. The lives of men are dependent on the success of your dream. You can no longer be slothful about it. You cannot be lackadaisical about it. You must ensure that you are generating the kind of results in your area of gifting that will end insults in the lives of men forever. It takes consistency to produce such results. It takes consistency. Remember that dream Joseph dreamt as a young boy was the same dream that saved the world when he was 30. Your dream is going to position you amongst kings. Don't allow a few side talks to kill your dream. Don't allow men who are not in your vista. Your vista means your vision space. Don't allow men who cannot see what you have seen to kill your dream. Your dream, it might not look like what is popular at the moment. But listen, if God put that dream in you, it means it's possible. It means there is a problem that is coming in the future that He's preparing you for. Remember when Joseph saw his dream, there was no famine in Egypt. There was no famine that affected Canaan. There was no famine that affected the whole world. But he saw the dream 20 years before, and he began working on it 7 years to the time of manifestation of the evil that was about to happen. And because of his consistency in his vision, he could be able to save the entire world from famine. Africa is dying of hunger today. You see other nations in Asian continent dying of hunger today. Disease is plaguing people everywhere. And you have the gift to be able to inspire success and growth and excellence in the life of an individual. And you allow unbelief to weigh you down. You allow the worries of this life to weigh you down. Listen, guys, there is something in you that has the capacity to uplift the lives of men. You can no longer sit back and fold hands and watch. You must engage in producing the results that end insult. Consistency. Without consistency, we are all just barking dogs. Without consistency, you will never produce any significant results. I don't care about what people say. I'm determined to produce results in my area of gifting. I'm determined to unleash my potentials. I'm determined to be able to inspire others. I know that my actions today are going to determine the lifestyle of my children tomorrow. I know that my actions today are going to determine the comfort of my children tomorrow. I don't take it for granted. Consistency in your area of gifting will produce results that will go a long way to end insults in your life, to end insults in your family, to end insult. You go a long way. Hey, and did you know that with the strategy, with the strategy of volunteering your gift, The strategy of voluntary service. The strategy to just serve. Without financial recompense being your motivation, just serve. Listen, when you serve over time, you are learning a skill. Men don't know. When you serve, you are learning a skill that people may not see at the start. You are learning something that others might not appreciate early. But don't allow the thoughts of men to suffocate early what men would have appreciated greatly at a later time. So you must ensure that you are just volunteer your gift. Serve it in a place. Remember when Joseph first began interpreting dreams in prison? Gosh, such an uncomfortable situation. Such an uncomfortable situation. He interpreted the gift of the cupbearer of the king, interpreted the gift of the chief baker. Why? Because he was sharpening a skill. Others might think you are stupid, you don't know what you are doing. At a later time, boy, the glory of the later is going to be greater than that of the former house, because there is something that God is building in you. There is a destiny He is molding in you. Your activities are not just lighting up your life. Your life is becoming a light to men. And when men see your light, in your light, they find expression for their light, because you have caught the light of God first. Volunteer your gift. Find an area and unleash yourself. You're so busy about getting money. Listen, money will not finish. It's numbers. It's numbers. Your life is so centered around getting money. Don't get me wrong, guys. Money is vital. Money is essential. As a matter of fact, in a society like this, money is I'm tempted to say with the way our society is indispensable, but in one of our sessions, I'm going to prove the invalidity of money. Because without money, you can get all what you need. Remember, in ancient times, even when there was no money, there were medias through which people could get all what they need. And I'm going to teach you the Talex business. We're going to move from Forex to Tarex. I don't want to sound like I'm prophesying, but this is the future of the world. It's not about money, it's about Talex, about talents, how talents would fit in an exchange in order to produce results that end insult. After all, nobody eats money. You use money to get resources. And so strategy can disrupt the methodologies to ensure that you can still get the resources even without acquisition of money. But don't get me wrong, with strategy, you can improve on your getting of money to be able to command results in areas that you desire to be an influence in. To be an influence. You must volunteer your gift. Find a place and serve. Listen, there are people in the world who, based on their economic situation at the moment, might never be able to afford the expertise of your gift. It takes volunteerism to reach out to such. And your reaching out to them might just be the lifeline that they needed to gain a platform that will turn their story around. You cannot be selfish in that area. Just volunteer your gift. Put it on the platform of service. It might not be what you do all your life, but in a week, find a way to just volunteer somewhere, to just serve a group of kids, and you're going to come back to this channel to testify of how it lifted a soul, how it blessed an individual. Just serving your gift, just putting down your service at the platform for others to see. Volunteer your gift. Volunteer your gift. Volunteer. And the next, this is going to change your life. As you volunteer, negotiate, because men are crafty. When you volunteer, negotiate, there is a gift, there is an exposure, there is a positioning that comes with men. They might not be able to pay it in cash, they can pay it in kind. When you volunteer, negotiate. This is the strategy of negotiation. And listen, guys, when Joseph interpreted their dreams, interpreted the dream of the cupbearer, interpreted the dream of the chief baker, he told them, when you stand before the king, do not forget me. These were men who had access to the king. One of them had access to hold the cup of the king. Another had access to bake the bread of the king and serve. Negotiate. He said, when you get there, don't forget me. Recommend me to the king. Because I knew that there was something. People thought that they were putting Joseph in prison. They didn't know that they were just becoming a tool in the hand of God to position a son that had been trained for that period, for that calamity that was befalling the people of God. They didn't know. And then when the chief cupbearer recommended Joseph to the king, listen, they might forget you for a while, but a problem will come that will affect a disruption in the system that will prove the need for you. It is either you or men die. Listen, your time will come. The challenge is that you're so much under pressure to express now. Just keep putting your gift in service, using the strategy of negotiation and volunteerism. At a later time, you will find placement before kings. It is written in scriptures. Bible specifies it clearly. The gift of a man will make a way for him. One thing I have known about God that I have tested and proven is the fact that when he says it, he does it. He's not a respecter of any man. He's not dependent on any man. When he says it, he does it. When he says it, he does it. Just believe. Your gift will position you before kings. If he's the one that said it, he'll do it. His word hasn't gone out and come back void before. He's a God of specifics and accuracy, and he makes it work at the right time. He says time and chance happen to them all. Your time will come where you would have a chance to manifest. Just ensure that when your time comes, you are ready. How do you get ready? By volunteering. There are systems you could never be paid to mount. It takes volunteerism to mount those platforms. It takes volunteerism to mount those platforms. I remember in my life, as a young person, 23, I was managing or coordinating the entrepreneurial activities within the Catholic University Institute of Boya. I was 22 at the time. I was technically underqualified in terms of academic qualifications, but there was something that my volunteerism had done. It had bypassed protocols. It disrupted the system. During the Anglophone crisis, there was no way. And they said, you can do it. And then I learned that new skill. And it was something I was passionate about. 22. Coordinating the entrepreneurial activities of a university. It takes consistency. It takes volunteerism. I had volunteered. Oh, guys, you don't know this. I had volunteered. Learning the skill from experts. It takes consistency and volunteerism. You're preparing yourself in style. I like the way someone just said it out there now. So you're stylishly preparing yourself intentionally. It takes volunteerism to make it work. Volunteer, it gives you access to platforms that normally you will not access. Volunteer. And then the next strategy, which remember we've spoken about negotiation. As you volunteer, negotiate, guys. There's something you profit on the volunteerism. It might not be economic, but there's something that you profit, something deep that you're going to profit. And the next is ensure that what you're doing is for the common good. Ensure that what you're doing is for the common good. Let it profit people. Let it not just be based on you. Let it not just be about you. Whenever life is centered on just about you, you've missed it greatly. Ensure that in your life, you're inspiring people to be better. Ensure that in your life, you are an influence to people. Ensure that in your life, you are becoming a positive plus in the life of an individual. You're becoming an addition to somebody. Such are rare. Such individuals are rare. You can make yourself one of those light givers. Provide platforms for other young people. People out there, they crave for platforms. They are skilled, but yet no platforms. Be a source of light to shine light that they may see light. Present Jesus. You have exposure. Listen, make sure that your investment in people is long term. Let it be long term. Don't focus on them now. Don't just provide them with food for their belly. Don't provide them with just food for their belly. It's important to provide them with food for their belly. But if you just provided them with food for their belly, you might have just empowered a devil. As you empower them with food for their belly, inspire their minds. Make them believe that they can make their lives come true. They can be able to shine the light for other people. It's possible. It is always possible. And the next is the strategy of participation. Listen, you want to be participative. And not just you participating, but there are 3 dimensions of this that I want us to talk about. The strategy of participation does not go without solidarity. People must stand with you in order to produce the kind of results that you want to get. And the next thing about the strategy of participation is that it must come with subsidiarity. Subsidiarity. Listen, that is to say, you must be able to empower people to take action at their levels. Everybody might not be at your level, guy, but empower them at their level to take action and challenge them to keep improving themselves constantly to get up there. That's the goal. So create a system that has exposure for all people. Ensure that you're implementing the strategy of participation. No matter how small what people do is, just make them count. Just make their additions count. Provide platforms for them. The strategy of participation. It should go align with the strategy of solidarity, creating a platform for people to stand together for a common cause, for the common good, and also using the technique of subsidiarity. Empower them at their level. Empower them at their level. Empower them at their level. And it's going to really go a long way towards effecting the kind of life that you want to see. In this session, our goal was just to brainstorm on some of those Bible strategies that have stood the test of time. You remember in scriptures in the book of Hebrews chapter 6 verse 12, where the Bible says clearly that let us imitate them who through faith and patience endured and were not slothful until they saw the promises of God. So it is important that as we engage in this journey, let us not be slothful. Don't be lazy. Endure until you fulfill the promises of God in your life. There is a destiny that is ahead of you. There is a light that there is a life that your light can affect. So you must engage to intentionally produce those results, because there is a crying generation that is waiting for your manifestation. The Bible says that the generations are earnestly waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. Are you going to be slothful, or are you going to take up the challenge to end the weeping in the world? Your gifts can make it work. So I'd implore all of you today to be a part of this movement. We are Eagle Mind, and this is what we do. We incite a positive mentality in order to effect a positive reality. And there are 5 key dimensions that we focus on. We focus on your spiritual development, because we believe that without spiritual energy, you'll just be a vamping mobile on the street. We also focus very well on your intellectual development, because ignorance is like a pothole on the pathway to your destiny. And so you need to be able to quench ignorance with all that you can. Fix the road that positions you for lifelong influence. It takes intellectual energy to make that possible. And also, we ensure your social energy. The kind of people you work around, your network determines your net worth. Many people have said that already. We cannot overemphasize on that issue. So it's important to define your social team. Who are the kind of people you network with? What are the kind of systems you interact with to produce the kind of results? Most young people are not very conscious about this, but did you know that the kind of people you interact with today are going to disrupt your life tomorrow? You want to find the right associations to make your dreams a reality. And the next thing we focus on is also your physical development, because your physical energy will determine the durability of your influence. And so we believe that if you can just focus on developing yourself very, very intentionally, then you can be able to make your life better. And finally, we think that without economic strength, all of this would just not be possible, because the web of the economy is the hook that the enemy uses to pull out people from their path in destiny. Don't get trapped by the fact that it may delay. If it's God's promise, it will come to pass. And so that's our challenge to you today, that just keep focusing on your dreams. It's going to become a reality one day. And that day is going to be a good day for you. Your family is going to celebrate you. The world is going to celebrate you. Don't give up on your salvation. Don't give up on your potential. Don't give up. Don't lose hope in your world. There is something unique in you. There's someone, I just sensed that there's someone who is listening to me now. There is something unique in you, and you are at the verge of giving up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep making your dreams a reality, and your light will shine one day. That day might not be today, but when your light is going to shine, you're going to remember this day, and you're going to be proud of what God has done for you. And we are glad to be a part of this transformation story. Remain greatly blessed. We are passionate about inciting a positive mentality in order to effect a positive reality. You could know more about us by checking our content on this page, Eagle Mind, and also on our YouTube page, Eagle Mind. And you could also check our website, www.eaglemind.org. www.eaglemind.org. It's always a great pleasure to have you connected with our programs, and we believe that ideas make men dear. I want to especially thank all my team of change makers who were present for the session today, and even those who could not be able to make it because of one reason or the other. We believe that together we can make the world a better place, and we keep pushing relentlessly. Dear team, I appreciate you so much, my team of executive members. If you don't know the team, there are some photos there. I stand with Eagle Mind. Those are a team of young people who are volunteering with us. Together, all of us are volunteers. It's a vision. Myself, we are volunteering in it, and we are passionate about making the world a better place. Just to say, guys, I love you all so much, and let's keep making this change. The future is going to tell. I'm so certain about that. So keep making the world a better place and keep shining your light. May God richly bless you. I love you. Eagle Mind loves you. Point of information, a POI, please. The Eagle Mind Corporate Advancement Series is starting on Saturday, the 7th of February. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a 1-month-long program. It's going to be made up of intentional 8 hours that are going to revolutionize your life and your business. Unfortunately, the registration for the February edition has ended. However, the registration for the March edition is going to be launched soonest. But the February edition is going to start Saturday, 6th of February, and let's gather and brainstorm ideas that make men dear. It's been a pleasure having you all for the session, guys. Remain richly blessed, and my prayer for you is that whatever you find to do this week is going to prosper greatly in the name of Jesus. You are blessed in your going out and in your coming in, and whatever you find to do, it will prosper so tremendously. You will make achievements, significant achievements in pleasant places in the name of Jesus. Go forth and continue to make the world a better place. Remain blessed in Jesus' name.